so fucking hot, man. Well, that was that was something, wasn't it? Yeah. So the Leafs beat the Montreal Canadiens 4-2 last night in the second exhibition game of the day. They followed up the Pittsburgh Philly game, which was fairly sloppy, and the Leafs and Habs didn't disappoint in that regard either. Both teams not on their game, one more so than the other, but we will get into that. But before I do, I got to preface this by saying you can't read too much into one exhibition game after no hockey for over 4 months. Um, Mind you, if I would have filmed this last night, it would have been a bitch, whine, and moan fest. Let me tell you that right now, because I was fucking pissed after that loss. I really thought the Habs played terribly the whole game. Just reminded us of why we shouldn't be in this play-in series in the first place. That's what I was feeling last night. I felt like one team showed up to play, that being the Leafs, along with a couple other guys on the Habs. But in reflecting today, I don't know if it was. It certainly wasn't a domination on the Leafs' part. That's for sure. And the game was actually a lot closer than I expected when I rewatched a good portion of it today. But yeah, people are definitely reading way too much into one exhibition game. We got a ton of people back on the tank train. Some never left the tank train, but a ton of people, reboarded for sure. Anyway, let's get into it. We start in the first period, an early goal. Yet again, back to their old ways. Habs giving up quick goals to start a period or to start a game. Sherratt pinched in, and Gallagher did not cover, and that led to an odd man rush, something I was really hoping we'd avoid, and hopefully we will avoid in the Penn series. The offensive zone giveaways and poor coverage in the offensive zone leading to odd man rushes, leaving Carey out to dry. But here we are. Yet again, it happened. Tavares streaks down the right side wing after a very nice pass from Morgan Riley. And they got a 2-on-1. Tavares with the slick pass over to Mikheyev, and he buries it past Carey Price, who tried for the desperation save, couldn't quite get there. 33 seconds in, 1-0 Leafs. Not much else went on for the first period. It was back and forth. Neither team had too many crazy high danger chances. The Leafs definitely challenged Price a little bit there after their first goal with the momentum. I know Price made a really nice save on Marner. Cover in the slot, and I believe he made another real nice save on Matthews in the first period there with the shoulder. But yeah, it was kind of a back and forth period. A lot of just like one and dones for both teams, or like trying to establish pressure, and then the puck was coming up the other way. So pretty even first period. And then we go into the second, and Kerfoot ends up getting a shorthanded goal on the Montreal Canadiens. We're going to get into the power play a little later on. I know I said you can't read too much into one exhibition game, but I do have a lot of shit to say about the Habs power play later on in this video. So anyway, terrible play by Thomas Tatar at the blue line. A no-look behind the back pass that he was trying. It gets picked off. Yet again, another odd man rush heading Carey Price's way. There's nothing he can do. He ends up making the first save. Really nice toe save on the first one. Rebound kicks out. It goes to Kerfoot, and he sniped it top cheddar. Real quick. Nice goal there from Kerfoot. It really frustrating there that after the giveaway, the Habs still couldn't even catch the trailing man and tie up the trailing man there. It was Thomas Tatar who gave the puck away, who ended up getting back up the ice and almost caught Kerfoot as the trailing man, who ended up scoring that rebound goal. So kind of frustrating there. Not only a bad giveaway in the offensive zone, but a defensive breakdown coming up the ice, and not so good on the back check. Then we get a goal from Thomas Tatar, and that play that eventually ended up with Thomas Tatar potting a goal on Freddie Anderson was all Suzuki, quarterback in the power play from the half wall. It didn't end up being a power play goal because the power play had ended, but the momentum that Suzuki kind of gathered there towards the end of the power play, it led to one scoring chance, didn't go in, but then he gathered the puck back up, ends up skating the puck into the middle, and a slick fake shot, then pass east-west over to Tatar, who finishes it. Those two, real good chemistry, man. I really think they should be playing on the same line together. I don't necessarily think you got to split up Danault and Gallagher because they do work well together, but maybe swap Tatar and Drouin, like I mentioned in the Habs Pens play-in series preview video I put up. Swap Drouin and Tatar, get Tatar and Suzuki playing together on the second line. They got good chemistry. Give Drouin some solid line mates in Danault and Gallagher to play with to get his game going, because he's got to get it going. Enough waiting for Drouin. It's got to happen. So we got to figure that out. Anyway, Gallagher also picks up an assist on the Tatar goal. Then we get another late period goal. The Habs unable to close out the period. Kerfoot gets another one. This was a tip goal. Nice point shot from Riley. Robertson picks up the tertiary assist on that one. But yeah, Riley gets the nice wrister shot pass from the blue line. Kerfoot tips it, goes straight past Carey Price, and we have a 3-1 game heading into the third period. Real shame. It would have been nice to go into the third with just a 1-goal deficit, but they were not able to close out the period. Another problem that has really hurt the Habs in the 2019-20 season. Can't let this trend continue if you want to do anything in the play-in series versus the Penguins. You have to be ready at the beginning and the end of a period. Plain and simple. Go into the third, and the Habs actually started to pick up their game a little bit towards the end of the third period. I feel like the first was even, maybe the slight edge to Toronto. The second, all Toronto, other than that almost power play goal, the one goal from the Habs. Otherwise, the second was all Toronto. But in the third, over time, Montreal started to control the possession, get more shots on goal towards the net, and the Leafs really didn't have much going in the third period until we took until we drew a penalty, and the Leafs get another shorty. But yeah, nonetheless, nothing too dangerous, but they're definitely putting pucks toward Freddie Anderson, and that's what Sherratt does. He throws a wrister on net towards Freddie Anderson. It goes off his pad, and Byron with the real nice pass reception, skate to stick to the back of the net. Great to see him get up on the board there. Got to be good for the confidence. And Kotkaniemi picks up an assist on that one as well. So good to see him on the board up there too. And then Montreal takes. I was going to say takes a penalty, but they may as well have done that to help themselves out. They actually drew a penalty and were on the power play. And lo and behold, they give up a second short-handed goal. Absolutely unacceptable. How does this happen? And it's a defenseman for the Leafs, Morgan Riley, jumping up in the play on the penalty kill to score the goal. It's just brutal. Zach Hyman with the assist. Got to say, Zach Hyman played a really, really good game. Liked how he was using his space on the ice out there, and boxing guys out all night, recovering pucks. He played really well. I was impressed. So there's certainly a reason why he's up there on the first line with Matthews. So that pretty much did it for that game. The game ends up 4-2. Quickly, let's go over the stats. Montreal outshoots the Leafs 30-23. Toronto with a 17.4 shooting percentage on those 23 shots. Insane. The Habs are hovering somewhere around 6%. So the Leafs just about tripled us on their shooting percentage. Just crazy. But that goes to show the chances that the Habs give up. They might keep the shot numbers down, but when they give up a chance, it's a very, very tough chance for Carey Price to save. Power play for the Habs, 0-for-6, and actually went -2, so that's great. And then their penalty kill, 3-for-3. So good sign there. The Leafs have a really offensively talented roster, and so good to shut down that power play of the Leafs. Now, gotta say, man, this game, how does one game sum up our entire 2019-20 season? We outshoot a team, still lose. We get more power plays than the team. We do a great job drawing penalties. Go 0 for 6, don't score. We give up an early goal to start the game. We give up a late goal to end a period. I just can't believe how that one game literally just summed up what we've been dealing with and having to observe and sit through for a year, almost two now. It's unreal. Now let's get into the power play here. Lots to talk about. The lines are different, so there's that. However, the systems they're going to roll look exactly the same, which we know how well that worked for us the last 2 years. Why are we using the same strategy on the power play? And it starts with the breakouts. Way too predictable. What are you guys doing? Like, relying way too heavily on that draw pass to the point where it's the opposing team knows when we're going to do it and when we're not going to do it. We need way more deception on the breakout. It's like the guys executing the power play are way too focused on what they need to do and not focused on what they need to get the other team to be doing. What they need to deceive the penalty killers and back them off and then drop the pass. If you're not backing the penalty killers off, don't drop the pass back. If you're being covered, it blows my mind. So we can't get clean breakouts. There was a few times where we did get some okay entries, but they were few and far between. And then when it doesn't work and they skate into the zone and they're immediately pressured because it was obvious that's what they were going to do on the breakout, they dump it in. And then there's absolutely no support on the dump in because everyone is flat-footed after the drop pass. So then the puck ends up going behind the net, the Leafs recover it, and it's back down to the other side of the ice, rinse and repeat. It blows my mind how we're still struggling with this, especially when we have guys like Jeff Petrie, Nick Suzuki, Max Domi, Jonathan Drouin, who should be able, Paul Byron, who should be able to carry the puck up the ice and enter the zone when you have the extra man. Maybe just play your game 5-on-5. Pretend you're 5-on-5 for a little bit and see how that works. And see if it actually works out in you being able to play a little bit better with the extra man on the ice. It's like they're way too focused on the system that the coaches are rolling out. It's overcoached. That's exactly what it is. Way overcoached, especially on the breakouts. And then, even once they're in the zone, it's all perimeter work. No one's challenging the middle of the ice. And a lot of the times, these guys have their backs to the defenders, or they're throwing around sloppy passes that are hard to receive. So then the penalty killer has sufficient time to challenge and come in. Just not much confidence going on. And it looks very similar to what we were dealing with the power play this entire season. Way too much perimeter work. Someone needs to be skating in and out of the middle at all times. Constantly. Look at Tampa Bay. They constantly have guys moving their feet, switching positions. For the Habs, everyone's just way too locked in to their singular position. And I got to be honest here, Shea Weber is not good at quarterbacking a power play. Not at all. He has a cannon of a shot that can be used, but it needs to be used and utilized properly. The Habs are not doing that. They make it obvious that they're looking for him, or they're constantly feeding pucks through him for him to be the quarterback of the power play. And he should not be in that role. Kotkaniemi could be in that role. Jonathan Drouin could be in that role. Jeff Petrie could be in that role. Nick Suzuki could be in that role. Shea Weber is not built for that role. One thing Shea Weber is good at doing along the blue line is keeping pucks in. But if that's really all he's really doing up there, he shouldn't be playing that position. Maybe try using Shea Weber as a forward on the power play. I don't know. Think outside of the box. Give him the opportunity to disguise himself on the ice. Skate in and out of the slot. Switch sides. Do something. Like, it's got to change. Because Shea Weber, quarterback in the power play, does not fucking work. Okay? The other thing, too. These giveaways. How are you giving the puck away when you have the extra man on the ice? Support the puck carrier. Have someone supporting the guy who's carrying the puck. Get close to him so he has an outlet if he comes under pressure. That way he can choose, do I make the risky play or do I make the easy play to the guy that's clearly open? Seems pretty obvious to me, but these guys can't seem to figure it out. Very strange. Very, very strange that we don't have the mentorship on the bench to say, hey guys, maybe support the puck carrier a little bit in the offensive zone. Might help you not give it away and cause 2-on-1s. At this point, I would suggest just letting the players run the power play by themselves. Don't let the coaches touch it. Let the players have some freedom. Let's see what they can do in this play-in series. I guarantee you it will be better than what they are being told to do. I fucking guarantee you. Now, a big difference I'm seeing with the Leafs and the Habs in terms of development, and it's working for the Leafs, it's not working for the Habs. The Leafs are playing their rookies. When they call up a rookie or a young player or a recently drafted player, they put him in a position to succeed. The Habs do not do that. A young fringe NHL player on the Habs is lucky to play over Jordan Weal or Dale Weiss, who are barely NHL players. No disrespect, but it's the truth. We have Ryan Poehling sitting on the bench, and Alex Belzile in. We have Dale Weiss in. We have Jordan Weal in. And we have Charles Hudon sitting on the bench, a guy who was in the Brassard complex from the moment he was allowed to be, working his ass off, trying to earn a spot on the roster. And he cannot do that, even though we're allowed to ice an extra forward. Seems a little weird to me in terms of development. Julien wants to talk about icing a team to win. Maybe you could do that by also playing your young players who will be fresh and ready to go at the start of a tournament-style format like this. Really. The ship has sailed for me for Claude. Big time. I'm not down with his decisions. Eventually, it may be wrong. Maybe Charles Hudon goes to another team. Can't find a spot on that team either. But I just don't see when a guy's on his last chance with the team and is a absolute sniper in the AHL, has chemistry with Jesperi Kotkaniemi, blatant chemistry, and you're not even going to try it? What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose here? Why would you not try that? Instead, you play Alex Belzile, yeah, and Dale Weiss. Yeah, okay. And I will say, I do understand the need for some experience on the fourth line, some physicality. I totally get it, especially when we play the Pens and they got Tanev and Aston Reese down on the fourth line. However, we have to pick a lane on whether we're going to develop our players or try to win with a roster of guys that just aren't capable of doing so. It can be really frustrating when you're seeing these guys who have no future with the Montreal Canadiens out there making mistakes when you could have young players out there making mistakes and learning from them. The guys who are going to be with you or are supposed to be with you long term. Now, I got to get into some positives here because I've been bitching and complaining enough. There was some positives for the game for the Habs last night. For one, I already mentioned it. The PK went 3 for 3 against a stacked Leafs roster. Price was real dialed in. He looked really good. He had no chance on either of the shorties or that first goal of the game early on. All of them were odd man rushes. And then the one goal he did let in that maybe he should have had was a deflection. So I thought Price looked really good. His puck control was on point. He was confident to go out, play the puck. He made some quick breakout first passes for the Habs. Made some real nice saves in the first period and just looked sound in the net. He looked dialed in. He looked real ready to play. I thought Victor Mete looked very good down on the third pair. Using his shot. I liked how he was funneling pucks to the net, and they were actually getting through. That's a really, really good sign. I personally think it is insane to have him down on the third pair, when not only is he good at defending and has some speed defending, but also now he's clearly finding the net with his shots. I still think he would complement Weber way more than Ben Sherratt. I understand you need a shutdown. Julien would want a shutdown pair against some top-heavy lines for Pittsburgh, but Ben Sherratt and Shea Weber could get caught very easily, especially if they're being told to pinch in, which it seems like they might be, because that's what both players did early on, and it led to a goal. Shea Weber needs a partner in Victor Mete who can recover after a mistake and maybe not stop the two on run rush towards Carey Price, but catch up enough to back check and disrupt it at least a little. We need and Victor Mete should be with us long term. He played with Weber a couple seasons ago for a long extended period of time, and for the most part looked really good. I thought they looked quite sound together. They really should go back to it, in my opinion. Domi looked fairly well last night, utilizing the sauce pass, which is good. They were getting through. Looked good on the half wall and down low. So he was dialed in, especially for a guy who only has practiced for a little bit here. He looked fairly well, and I really hope he climbs up higher into the lineup because it doesn't really make sense to me having him down on the fourth pair, especially if he doesn't have any wingers to play with. Kotkaniemi needs some guys who can score. Kotkaniemi's a playmaking center, and he's playing with Lehkonen, who can't bury a puck to save his life, and Paul Byron, who can, but still, he's a 20-goal scorer. So give him Max Domi, who not only has a shot, but can read off him very quickly as well. Max Domi plays fast, and that's what we want Jesperi Kotkaniemi getting used to. Oh, and Suzuki looked fantastic, specifically Suzuki with his offensive game and Deneau with his defensive game. The Leafs' top six was fairly contained. You didn't hear a whole lot out of Marner, out of Matthews, out of John Tavares. And you also didn't hear a lot out of Phil Deneau. So what was going on there was Deneau was shutting them down efficiently. Very good sign ahead of the Pittsburgh series. Deneau's going to have his work cut out ahead of him, so it's good to see that he is ready to go. And Kotkaniemi himself looked quite well. I didn't really notice a whole lot in terms of a difference in his skating, but his decision making was a lot better. He seemed a little more confident with the puck, and he did not too bad retrieving pucks in the corners. So give him some line mates and see what he can do. That's about it, guys. The Pittsburgh Penguins lost to Philly 3-2, so both the Habs and the Pens are going to be going into their play-in series with a loss under their belt. Now, maybe it was a good thing that we kind of were, put in our place a little bit. The Leafs didn't play overly well, but they certainly were the better team, and I think it really showed that the Habs have a little bit of work to do ahead of this play-in series against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And maybe that'll serve them well, and they'll be a little bit more prepared, say, if they had played very well against the Leafs and then gotten in their own heads. At least with the loss, they know they have to improve, and I'm sure there'll be lots to work on in practice over the next few days before the play-in series begins on Saturday. Can't wait to talk to you guys soon. Hope you enjoyed the game last night. I know I did. Watched it with friends out on the deck. It was an absolute blast. Despite the loss, we had Leafs fans over and a bunch of Habs fans. Lots of good-hearted jabs. And it was nice to watch hockey. It was weird, let me tell you, watching it in the sweltering heat and humidity for a good portion of the night. And I'm telling you, it's fucking strange filming this video right now, sweating my ass off in the absolute heat, but it is what it is. Hockey's back. It's a good time to be alive. Cheers, guys. Let me know if you like this video down in the comments. Hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Scotian Canadian.
Go Habs, go, baby!